almost evening where I am. Yay! It's another Hump Day Happy Chat. I'm Dr. Valerie Renee Shepherd. I'm coming to you live from my change of scenery in Puivert, France. That's spelled Puivert, Puivert, France. Yay! Happy Hump Day! How's it going out there, you peoples? In all of the worlds, all the people in all the worlds. It is an evening 5:30 p.m. here. I'm really excited to be with you again. I get excited every Wednesday. It's pretty cool to think about coming on and sharing a little whatever moves me in the moment kind of stuff. And that's what the Hump Day Happy Chat is about. It's about equipping you with tools and tricks and perspective and love and light and truth and wisdom to help you live happy to be me, which is remembering that you are divinity unfolding and that the tools that you put into practice are part of shepherding yourself into your highest vibration living, where you are bringing the magnificent essence of you. That's the me in living happy to be me. The magnificent essence of you to life in your life every moment of every day. So welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so happy to have you here with me. I would love it if you would put in a comment of where you're coming from, where you're listening from, and if you're listening to the replay, #replay, that would be great. The Hump Day Happy Chat is all about self-mastery, which I define as mastering you in your life so that you can exquisitely manage whatever your life brings your way. And you've probably been hearing about it and maybe seeing a little bit about it. My life has been bringing me a complete and total change of scenery. So you're seeing it in my background. This is not the normal look that you get of the Hartley Center for Mindfulness and Self-Mastery. This is going to be an ongoing future look that is a part of the change of scenery that I am giving myself right now, which is an international relocation. So excited. And I am in France right now. This will be the third or fourth time I've been in France in the last 12 months. And I am here on my second house hunting trip. I'm pretty sure that I've found my place. It's a beautiful townhouse in the village, the commune of Puivert, and you'll be hearing more about that in the future. And this time, this question that is the title of today's Hump Day Happy Chat has been a big one for me. I sure could use a change of scenery. Like, where does that statement come from? How do you ask the question? And my goodness, how do you get the answer? Like, what does it really look like? What does it really mean? How are you really sure when your change of scenery is calling to you in a way that you must answer? You must answer. What kind of scenery jazzes you up? What kind of scenery really supports what it is you're here on the planet to do and how you're going to do that? And what does it mean? So we start at the very basics. What is the word? What does the phrase mean? Change of scenery, obviously. Change to new surroundings. It's you go somewhere different after being in a particular place for a long time. It's a shift, sometimes temporary, from your ordinary surroundings to somewhere desirably different. Notice that. Desirably different. A shift from your daily routine at the office to some different routine. Maybe it's a remote routine, or maybe it's no office, no job. Maybe it's I've been working a lot and now I'm going on vacation. Maybe it's I've been doing so much of this and I'd really like to do more of that. I'm an empty nester and now I'm going to adopt a grandchild. Like whatever that change of scenery is, it's not necessarily the the scenery like in the forest or the ocean or some other form of landscape. It can also mean just the scenery that you surround yourself with. It could mean that. Whichever of those, it usually means that it's something in your outer world that is going to shift that you're going to benefit from in some way. Potentially a boost in your mood. Um, Maybe it changes you physically because you can get out and do more and you actually choose to do that. Maybe there are new business opportunities because of your change in scenery. Maybe you go on a new adventure. Maybe you trade in something, your mundane life, for a short-term fantasy experience. Maybe it gets you away from a difficult or undesirable situation, or all of the above. Benefits abound from a change in scenery. So many good things can come about. On the other hand, and I bet you knew that there was an on the other hand coming from me when you're talking about external changes. On the other hand, over time, the change in scenery, maybe even quicker than we want it to, can become a little bit of the same song, different verse, if you know what I mean. So, yeah, I moved to a new city, but I've got the same kinds of things unfolding at my workplace, or the same kinds of weird stuff between me and my neighbors, or I'm having the same difficulty here finding friends, feeling connected that I did where I just left. Like, why is this happening? Why would this be a part of my circumstance? My change of scenery delivered me to where I'd already been. Have you ever experienced that? You make an outward change that's supposed to deliver you to your new promised land, and it kind of delivers you to the land you just left, looking for promises. Why does that happen? Why does that happen? Well, generally, that happens because a change of scenery usually is only dealing with the outside stuff, the stuff around you, the circumstances into which you are fitting your life. That's where your life is bubbling up from, around you. Oops. As Confucius is believed to have said, and I love quoting, wherever you go, there you are. Wherever you go, there you are. What does that mean? What I teach that it means is that you cannot outrun yourself. You're going to get over there, and it's just going to be you over there. What is inside you goes everywhere you take you. What's inside you goes everywhere you take you. So if the trouble you're trying to manage with a change of scenery is really coming from inside you, it's going to make itself known on the outside of you, wherever that is, with a different lover, with a different set of friends, in different work circumstances, in a completely different geographical region. It doesn't matter. Wherever you go, there you are. And whatever is traveling inside you is going to go to that new place, that new relationship, on vacation, that new circumstance. Have you ever been on vacation and been amazed that it doesn't feel that different from your regular life? I've had some clients and students tell me that from time to time. Like, I went away, I really needed a break, and I don't know, the stress was right there with me. Well, yeah, because it's coming from inside you. It's going to follow you there. A change of scenery could happen, the deepest, most powerful change of scenery can happen by staying exactly put where you are and changing the inner you. Changing what's going on in the dynamic of the inner sanctuary of you, the inner plane of your existence, the space that you occupy from an inward perspective. That's about changing the perspective that you have about the things that are happening in your experience, the things that you're recognizing, the things that are coming up. It's about your perspective, not about your location, not about who's around you. It's about your perspective. What is perspective? It's a particular attitude towards something or a way of regarding something. It's a point of view about it. Dictionarily speaking, dictionary definition. So your perspective about the circumstantial dynamics is what may be the biggest cause for the discontent that is making you feel like you have a need for a change of scenery. I'll say that again. It might be your perspective, your point of view, your attitude regarding the things in your life that is actually causing the idea that you need a change of scenery. When in fact, your point of view might be the source of the stuff you don't like, the stuff that you're struggling with, the stuff that's stressing you out, the stuff that's making you anxious, the stuff that has you feeling overwhelmed, the stuff that has you, the stuff that has cortisol flowing through your body. When your point of view is shaped by low vibration judgments coming from whatever low consciousness aspects of you are keeping alive, your scenery is probably going to be pretty negative. Your scenery is probably going to be characterized by things you don't like and you don't want. It can't be any other way. Why? Because your thoughts, attitudes, beliefs, emotions, feelings, that voice in your head is where your perspective comes from. So perspective, I talk about changing your lenses. So like these are a pair of my new lenses. I'm really digging these sunglasses. So you put on a certain lens and your perspective is totally different. You've got a perspective about the way things look and how things are unfolding. And then when you take that lens off and put on a different perspective, you may see things more clearly. You may see things more cloudily. You may not see them at all. You may see things with a decidedly negative point of view. You may see things in a decidedly colorful and playful point of view. But it's coming from inside you. It's your perspective, which is a combination of your thoughts, attitudes, beliefs, the voice in your head, your feelings, your emotions, your patterns of conditioning. And until that stuff changes, you can change your lenses and you can change your outer circumstances. your scenery, so to speak, it's not going to matter. The muck and yuck inside you will be the coloring of the lenses through which you see and experience your outer circumstance. Always, always, always. Without changing your internal influences, your external judgments can't change. Without changing your internal influences, your external ability to discern what's really happening cannot change. Without changing your internal influences over the way you see things, characterize things, express yourself relative to those things, cannot change. Sorry. You've probably seen this play out. So we all know a higher vibration person. And when they look at things, they see things through one lens and one lens only, and that's a positive vibe lens. Good is always available in every situation. People are thought of as having good intentions. They are always giving them the benefit of the doubt. Stormy weather is always just a reason for the plants to get nourished and the animals to have water and us to have rest time because we're not working in the storm. The cup is always not just half full, it's way more than half full with a high vibration person, right? Always. And then we all are aware of, probably, and hopefully it's not us. I know in my life, when I retrospectively look at my life, yeah, I can tell there was a very long period of time where the low vibration person in the scenario was me. That's how I can talk about this so confidently. Not just from studies I've done with others or what I've noticed in the studies I've done with others, but what I know about really getting clear on myself, self-awareness, the foundational pillar of self-mastery. A low vibe person is generally gossipy about what's wrong with other people, can find something negative inside every good circumstance. They're always barely getting by, even while they're sitting in a life that others would die for. While they're sitting in abundance, they're calling it lack. While I was sitting in abundance, I was calling it lack. The cup never has more than a few drops in it. And they're always lamenting those few drops as not being very tasty. They're there, but they're not very tasty. And the important part here is both of them, the low vibe person and the high vibe person, are looking at the exact same amount of liquid, the exact same volume of liquid in a cup. So if you took that liquid and put it in a prettier cup, or a priceless antique glass, or a happy camper mug, it wouldn't make a bit of difference to how they see it. The high vibe person always sees way more than half, and the low vibe person can barely find a few drops worth drinking. Why is that? Because it's coming from inside them. It's coming from how they choose to experience their world. I sure could use a change of scenery. Yeah. And the question isn't whether you could or couldn't. The question is what's really driving that? Like, what's the deepest intent underneath it? The deepest intent underneath it is trying to outrun a circumstance in your life that you don't like anymore or that's not working for you. That's fabulous. Absolutely. You are the mistress and commandress. You get to make that call. What I'm encouraging you to make sure you're clear about what's the deepest intent underneath that. underneath that desire. Because if you're not clear and you think everything would be better off with a change of scenery, and you don't know that the reason your scenery looks a certain way is because of something going on inside of you that is coloring the perspective that you have about what's over there and who's out there and what's happening over there. If you're not aware that it's you, you're going to put a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of effort in that vacation, in that new bauble, or that fun night out with the gals or the guys, and you're going to get on the other side of it, and you're not going to have delivered yourself to where you deserve to be. You will not have up-leveled the way you think you're going to. Been there, done that, have the t-shirt or the empty cup to show it. So when you do think, I sure could use a change of scenery, here's what you do. So when you're declaring that, take a few moments to just breathe and connect inside. Like, take a deep breath. Usually it's like that too. Like, oh my gosh, I sure could use a change of scenery. And take a minute and explore. And a minute is kind of the proverbial minute. It could be a month. Explore. What's the judgment that I have about the current scenery? And where is that coming from? The current scenery is what? Too much of what? Not enough of what? Why is that? What is the judgment? Is it about the people? Is it about the dynamics inside the thing? What is it truly about? My light went off. What is it truly about? Is it old patterns of belief? Is it old conditioning? Is it old wounding that's actually clouding your judgment? And then get curious even more. Get even more curious about, from whence have my judgments come? Are they things that people taught me I don't even remember being taught? And do I still believe it? Is it still important to me to hang on to this judgment of that kind of people, or people who say this, or this kind of circumstances, or myself when I do or don't do? Where is the judgment coming from? And like, is it really meaningful anymore? Does it need to be meaningful anymore? If that's why I want new scenery, maybe if I just change the judgment, I can stay put and everything will shift. Number 3 is ask, are these points of view, is my perspective serving me? Are the ideas that I have in my head, is this voice that's chattering to me? Is it sullying my perspective about the people, places, things, interactions, points of view in the world that are making them so difficult that I have to have a change of scenery? Or if I were to change my perspective, like, does this perspective really work anymore? Doesn't matter if it used to. The question is it working now? And when you find that out, like, hold it in so much compassion and love, like, really bring it into the center of your chest. It's sometimes difficult to determine that what we're doing isn't really serving us. Like, it's a form of self-sabotage. So it's not always easy to cozy up to the you that you're being that's not really serving you. But that's what I'm calling you into doing. Like, that's where your liberation lies, is to cozy up, to make really deeply personal friends with the part of you that is not really serving you. It's a part of you. You can't kick it out and stomp on its face. You have to hold it in loving in a loving embrace in the center of your chest, and ask it to tell me more. Tell me more about me that I don't really believe I'm aware of, but I need to know right now. And then heal it, forgive it, love it. Release the muck and the yuck that is in you, keeping you at a low vibration. Why? Because through laws of the universe, law of attraction, law of reflection, law of karma, cycle of reciprocity, like through these laws, what you are being is what you are attracting. So if you're being a low vibration, judgmental, cup has barely any drops in it, individual, you are attracting experiences that will reinforce that point of view, those points of view. And if that's what you want to reinforce those points of view, you want more experiences that show you more of those low vibration, low consciousness experiences, then go for it. I doubt that's what you truly want. And so you've got to elevate your point of view and elevate, up level your perspective, up level your consciousness over and over and over and over and over and over. These are forever practices. Seneca said, as long as you live, keep learning how to live. We're never done. So the more you go into self-awareness and follow that up with self-acceptance and put icing on the cake of self-love, the higher you fly. And the higher you fly, the more high-flying experiences you attract. The being in the flow of my life, where I see so much coming in, so much more easily, so much a lot more aligned with where I'm going from who I'm being now versus where I've been from a totally different version of me. It's amazing, and it's so beautiful to live. It's so worth it to see magic and miracles unfolding every day, wherever I take myself, into whatever kind of scenery. So perhaps when you employ these tools, these practices, you change your scenery, this external scenery, for the fun of it. Like my relocation to France. It's not because I'm outrunning something in my life that I don't want anymore. It's because I feel called. And when we're clean on the inside, we can hear those voices saying, "Come hither, my beauty. I've got something exquisite for you." And I am receiving the exquisiteness every minute. So you choose it instead of it happening to be a temporary fix for what appears can't be resolved in some other way. So your change of scenery in here, the way you perceive yourself and the world, the way you interact with yourself and the world, the way you honor, love, and accept yourself and the rest of the world sets you up to have scenery reflecting back to you your heart's desires all the time in miraculously beautiful ways, wherever you are. That's it. That's today's Hump Day Happy Chat. It's been so good to be with you. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you're looking at the replay and you feel like sharing it, please do so. Share it broadly and with love. Thank you so much. And I continue to close the Hump Day Happy Chat with the Karanaya Metta Sutra, prayer of loving kindness from the Buddha, back here. And it goes like this. May all beings be peaceful. May all beings be safe. May all beings awaken to the light of their true nature, and may all beings be free. Emotional freedom changes your perspective. Many blessings, lots of love. Stay well and choose happy. And I'll see you next time on the Hump Day Happy Chat. I'm Dr. Valerie Renee Shepherd. Many blessings.